Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and welcome back to WWE Fans TV Recap Show. And today's recap show will be for Minority Report. So, this week's episode of Minority Report is entitled The Present. So, as always, if you have not seen this episode, please do not watch this review because there's going to be spoilers in this review. So, if you have not seen the episode, spoiler alert, don't watch this review. But if you have seen the episode, or if you just don't care about spoilers, continue on watching. So let's begin. So, what this episode is basically about, it's about, Dash and Vega. They have to find out another murder, murder case, usual stuff. And then when Vega gets a jersey that was in the murder vision, they are now contemplating, is she the murder victim? So now they have to basically try and figure out if she is the murder victim, and basically try to save her from that. So yeah. And so, what did I think of this week's episode? Another great episode from this series. I love this episode. This was another great episode from the series, and the series just keeps on progressing, and I love that. The series just keeps on progressing, and I'm loving it. And this episode was another great episode. I loved this episode of Minority Report. So yeah. So let's get into my positives, because I have a lot of positives with the episodes with the episode, and my positives are the acting. The acting was really good in this episode. I thought everybody did a really nice job in this episode. Stark Stance, I've actually remembered his name. He played the guy who plays Dash. He was really good in this episode. I thought, his character keeps on progressing, and I love it. His character just keeps on progressing, and it's great. And I really enjoyed him in this episode. He was really good. Did a really nice job in this episode. This is probably the best episode I've seen of Vega. Okay, because I did really enjoy her character in this episode. Definitely, I think this is the best I've seen her character in any of the episodes, because she was really great in this episode. I thought the actress that plays her did a really nice job, and she really was great in this episode. I thought she did a really nice job. So yeah, I thought she did a really great job. Everyone else in the episode, they were really good as well. I thought everybody did a nice job in this episode. The acting was really good. The action was really good as well, especially the last 15 minutes of the episode. We'll get into that once we talk about the moments, but that was awesome. The action was really good in this episode as well, just really liked the action. I thought it was really well filmed, so yeah. The writing was really good in this episode. I thought the writing was pretty good. It was very good in my opinion. The chemistry between Dash and Vega, they're starting to become a really good duo with each other, with each episode that they're progressing, and, I just keep on thinking they're progressing, and their chemistry between each other is really good. I really like that, they really do seem like they have good chemistry with each other, so yeah. The directing was really good with the episode. I thought the directing was really good with this episode, so yeah. Now let's talk about some of the moments, because there were a lot of moments, surprisingly, in this episode. So yeah, the beginning, really in the beginning, when you see a flashback of when Vega's father was murdered. You see him get murdered, unfortunately. This was 8 months before pre-crime, and, I like seeing that flashback. That was a nice flashback that we got to see, seeing Vega's father unfortunately murdered. But I like seeing that. That was a nice progression, seeing what happened. So yeah. Another moment is when Vega, when they see the vision, Vega thinks it's the guy that she took down a few years ago. So she went to see him. That was a really cool scene. I like that. He tries to basically attack her. She takes her down. And the woman that works at the precinct, yeah. Let's just say she gets into something a little bit later on, so yeah. And then when we find out that they did beta, that they basically did a beta, basically a year before pre-crime, and with the precogs, And, so what they want to try and do, Vega and the guy that helps with the precogs, they want to try and see if they can access memory from the pet from, like, early on with her father's murder. And, Arthur has to come in for this one because it needs both twins. And very intense scene, actually. Like, you see both Dash and Arthur, they're like this. Oh my goodness, that was actually a pretty intense scene. I actually really like that. And then you see, and then the guy asks, do you want to see this to Vega? And she's like, play it, and it's her father getting killed. And you find out who the murderer was. It's the woman who worked at the precinct that they went to. And, then later on in the episode, in the finale, when she goes to confront her, Vega, I was surprised. This was a very intense, like, last 15 minutes. I'm going to say why, because, she's like, you don't have to do this. Just don't do this. I didn't do it. I was hired. And she's like, wait, what? You were hired? And then you see her son with the gun, and you're like, what the? You just don't know what's going to go down. Like, you're like, what the? You just don't know what's going to go down. And you see that Vega may not be the murder victim because you see that the kid has the same football jersey that was in the murder crime. So, very intense scene. When she puts down the gun, he puts down the gun. And we find out that she was indeed hired by some guys to take out her father. So, yeah, that should be interesting to see where it goes down in the near future. So, yeah. My only two negatives with this episode will have to be is that Dash needs to learn to not basically try to give out his identity, because he keeps on, like, when the woman at the precinct, when they were at the precinct, she was like, what do you need to see him for? And Dash is like, oh, he's about to commit murder. Dude, you're supposed to keep your identity secret. So I just had that problem with it. And there were some times where I felt the runtime of this episode. There were some parts that were boring to this episode. But besides that, great episode. The show keeps on getting better and better. I really want people to check out this show because it's so great. And I don't know why enough people are checking it out. So yeah. So it's time for my official grade on this episode. And my official grade on this episode is an A-. Great episode. I loved it. So yeah. So what did you guys think of this episode? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599 and we'll see you all later. Peace.